Welcome to The Culture. We rest at the pulse of the community, providing all things news, media, fashion, events, and everything that we talk about in between. Documenting our Black powerful history and amplifying our Black voices, one interview at a time. We are The Culture.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of The Culture. I'm your host, Jessica Modkins, and coming to the show this week, we have Belinda Gordon Battle. She is our resident mental wellness for the culture host. She provides life learning skills through anecdotes. She helps us figure things out. And on today's show, we look forward to catching up with her and finding out what has been going on in the world of Belinda Gordon Battle. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be back on The Culture with Jessica Modkins. It's been a minute.
It has been a minute. Wow. A lot of things have happened.
A lot. In our personal lives and in the world, a lot of things have happened. But I'm so glad to be in this safe space today.
Yes, and that is what I look forward to every time you're able to come on the show. We're able to just be transparent, provide just that moment of reflection and the solutions that were for us that may be able to help and bless someone else. Yeah. But it's so appropriate for you to come on the show because we have, for the month of May, it is, drum roll please.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
Really an opportunity for us to be reflective and take care of ourselves and to remember that our mental health is our wealth.
Yes, it is. It is our wealth. Yeah. So let's just start with just reflection. So what's been going on?
Oh my gosh, so much has been going on. I'm really excited to share that my nonprofit, which is the Center for Equitable Access and Treatment of Trauma, continues to provide free counseling services for people in Miami-Dade County that have issues around gun violence, sexual violence, domestic violence, any trauma, because oftentimes our people are going through difficulties and issues, but they don't have access to licensed mental health counselors. CEAT, C-E-A-T-T, we provide that service. And we have a community that makes donations. We have a spring fundraiser every year. And the community comes in, they provide the funds for us to continue that service. And we have an awesome grant with the Carrie Meek Foundation that also supports us. And we continue to go out into businesses, organizations, churches, community centers, individual, family, children, adults, our older Americans in Miami-Dade that have not had an opportunity to work through their trauma. We continue to be there for them. So I'm excited about that part of life right now.
Let me not allow you to move past what you just said. If someone, two things, if they were interested in making a donation, how would they go about doing that?
Absolutely. They can definitely go to our website, www.ceatt.org. And there is a little button. Click the button, make a donation. If you have an in-kind donation, you can use the same form and reach out to us. If you need someone to come speak to your small group, your large group, we are available for speaking engagements and workshops, presentations also.
And the second part to that is if you are someone who is actively processing trauma, you have experienced something that you're not quite able to understand how you should move through it. Yeah. How would they be able to contact you to be a part of the services that you offer?
Absolutely. That's a great question. And that happened recently. When we talk about trauma, there recently has been an incident where a young man decided to end his life. And the family and the friends in the community reached out through that website, ceatt.org. And there is a form. If you complete that form, we will contact you within 24 hours. You will speak to people that look like you, that sound like you, that are licensed in mental health and are prepared to provide support to you. It's so important that we have access, and we want to make sure that you have access through that website. You can easily make a referral for yourself or someone else through that very same website at seek.org.
I noticed that there's things that are going on in the world right now. There was a shooting, I believe, in Virginia. Yes. There was a shooting in northern Florida on the campus of Florida State. I understand some of the students from Parkland were on the Parkland shooting were at FSU on campus during the same sort of tragedy. Mm-hmm. And I know that you said that you service South Florida, but if there were viewers of the show that may be outside of the area who may not be able to qualify for the complimentary paid therapy, yes. Are they able to reach out to actually pay you and your services and your partners for guidance, the therapy?
Absolutely. There is a way to contact us, and we do have donors that have set aside funds for victims, survivors that are outside of the Miami-Dade area. We have funds available, so there is no need for an individual to pay us for those services. We will make sure you get those services. Money is not the issue when it comes to making sure we are healing, right? So we want to make sure you are healing, and you can always go through that same website or just go to our Instagram, which is CEATT_MIA. And just as a response, because it's unfortunate that we have to be prepared to respond to gun violence on our college campuses. But just as a response to that, this week, we are holding community healing circles where you can tap in. If you are someone at Florida State University, FAMU, which is very close to Florida State University, if you are a parent, if you're a student, if you're a sibling of a child that is at Florida State University, you could tap into those healing circles and spend 1 or 2 hours. You don't have to stay the entire time, but just come in, voice your concern, have someone to support you and to listen to you, because this is something that we seem to be in a continual state of holding our breath, waiting for the next shooting to occur. And we need some space to exhale and heal and make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and also each other. And we want to do that through these healing circles. So if you go to our IG account, you will see information about these opportunities for our community.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
I didn't grow up in a time where, I don't know, maybe some people did need the healing circles, yes. But the times that we're in right now are really unprecedented. I believe I read something on social media where someone said they're tired of the unprecedented situations continuing to occur. There are other traumas outside of gun violence. Our nation is in a daily fix of trauma. Yeah. If you try to stay up to date with the current administration, with the news briefs, with the policies, with the abandonment of laws, with the institution of where we are, you may find yourself being traumatized over and over and over again. I know that I have created a circle in which I'm able to stay sane.
Yes,
absolutely. I can share that, but I would like to hear from someone who is credentialed in this area and all-knowing. Belinda, what do you think people should be doing in this state in which we are in, to, as our elders would say, to stay sane.
Right. And this is so important because you have to take control of your own sanity. If we just rely on news and social media and those who put themselves in positions to be in charge of our nation, we will be at a deficit. So it's important for you to be intentional like you are. Like you said, I created this circle of friends, family, people that love me and have equal value and understanding, also understanding of my worth in this circle, and that I spend time with them. Recently, and very thankfully, some old friends from my college years said, we have to come together. We can talk online, we can do FaceTime, but being in the presence of people that are like-minded, that care about you, who understand what's going on in the world, but also know how to turn it off and be present, intentionally present. That is a life-saving experience. It allows your mind to relax. It allows your body to relax. It allows you to breathe and laugh because there's still joy to be found. A lot of times right now on social media, you see, and we laugh at it all the time. We talk about it. Boots on the ground. Let me tell you, that is so important to our community right now, is that we can get together, we can laugh, we can sing, we can be in sync. Everybody is learning this dance because we have to be in sync right now because the rest of the world is falling apart. So take a deep breath, look around you, pick up the pieces that you can, control what you can. Make a list of what you can control, and the things that you cannot control. You cannot control other people.
Mm-mm. No.
In your personal life, in the government, on your job, in your church, even your children. Sometimes people think, I can control my children. No, ma'am, you cannot. So
you can't control your spouse.
No.
You cannot control anyone.
You cannot. You can't control your siblings.
Mm-mm.
And even because we're in the sandwich generation,
parents
control our parents all the time.
No, can't control them either.
No, we cannot. And so you have to take a deep breath and sit back and say, what am I responsible for here? But also, what can I control here? And do things with intention. Even if it's just for 5 minutes a day, I am going to take this walk uninterrupted. Sometimes with music, but it's okay to take the headphones off and listen to nature and ground yourself in nature. Remind yourself that I am connected to this world that was not made by man, but I am connected and I am a part of this. So the things that man are putting in place, I have a way to empower myself so I don't have to become completely engaged in what man is doing. We have to take that time for ourselves. And if we don't do it, we will find that we become depressed. We increase our anxiety. We can have physical ailments that all of a sudden people say, I don't know why I'm sick. I can't get rid of this cough.
It shows up in your body.
It shows up in your body. And we have to take the time to take care of ourselves. And that's from 5 minutes to a weekend away.
I want to add. I want to jump in here because I have so many things racing through my head. That is just the way that God made me. I want to throw these things in. Since the last show, I lost my mother, and my mother was my best friend. And I want to say that there are many people who see me and they want me to be downtrodden, depressed, and barely making it through grief. I am choosing to celebrate my mother every day. Absolutely. As hard as it can be. My choice with her transitioning from here is to celebrate her. I wake up. I have a very long list, and we've discussed it, of declarations that I proclaim over myself so that my mind is in the right space, place, and remembrance of who God has made me to be, so that when I show up in the world and the outside circle tries to tell me who I am, I remember who I am and whose I am, so that I can continue and navigate through life. Because if I don't tell myself in the morning that I am more than a conqueror, that my latter days are better than my former days, and on and on and on, all of these things, then the world has an opportunity to tell me who I am.
That's right.
And so I have to decide whose report I'm going to believe. And so those declarations allow me to move forth. And in it, I give thanks to God for allowing me to have 53 years, Patricia Harper Garrett. Because there are many who didn't have 53 years. There are some who don't even know who their birth mother is. So how selfish is it of me to continue to want more? Who am I to dictate how long my mother should have on earth? That is not up for me. That is above me.
Yes.
And so all I would do if I was fighting back is to wrestle with that and be in a constant state of uncertainty. I have 2 children, a husband, and 16 people on the payroll that are depending on this mind to be right.
Right.
So I just encourage others who may have found themselves in a grief opportunity to grieve, but grieve in a way that is befitting of who that person is.
Absolutely.
I know without a shadow of a doubt, my mother would want me to move in her legacy, continuing to impact. I can't do that on the couch.
You cannot.
I cannot. But I do have those times where I do have to take a step back, celebrate her through looking at photographs or writing down different memories that I have of our relationship. It does not mean whether I'm going or sitting on the couch that it's going to hurt less. That hurting, that has nothing to do with what this conversation right here is about.
Absolutely.
The third thing that I wanted to say about this was our expectations. When people show you who they are and what they are capable of giving, believe what they are showing you.
Every time.
Stop allowing yourself to continue to get into this state of disappointment that someone is not living up to the expectation that you have for them, because all they can give you is the best that they can. It does not matter if they are your spouse, if they are your parent, sibling, cousin, boss, whomever that is. This goes back to what Belinda was saying about being in control, and you're only in control of yourself. You're not in control of someone, so you cannot expect them to be any more than who they are. It might hurt your feelings, but I do believe that if you allow yourself to step back away from that hurt, you will be able to see that God has given you someone else to fulfill that need that you so desire, but you're wanting it from someone who is inadequate to supply it.
I love that. I love that. And I think about everything that you just shared. Mrs. Patricia Garrett was a force to be reckoned with. And she would not have wanted you to linger in deep, deep grief. She would have loved, appreciated, invested in celebration. And I'll tell this story quickly. I know that you did an amazing job eulogizing her. And I remember I got dressed that morning and I had on black. And I just didn't feel comfortable in black. And I had to change my whole outfit. And I said, I'm so sorry if I'm out of line. But this is about Mrs. Patricia Garrett, who I remember as the opposite of black.
Yes.
She was color and vibrance and pop and words of encouragement that she gave me sitting on your couch. Those are the things that I remember about her. So for me, doing this show, being in this space is a continuation of that celebration of her life, because I know how she was invested in the culture herself.
She really, really was.
Yes.
I say this, and this is not a joke. I said this to friends while I was working and simultaneously taking care of her in the hospital. So side note, for those of you who have an elder or family member in the hospital, there has to be a family member or someone who can speak on their behalf with them every day.
Every day.
You cannot leave them to the hospital, because remember, the people who are in the hospital are humans. They don't read the chart all the time.
Right.
They do the best that they can, but there has to be an advocate. I said all that to say, during the time when I was advocating on her behalf and would have to step away to take a trip for work, and then of course I scheduled for someone else to stand in while I was gone.
Yes.
I had friends that would say, "Oh, I know your mom is like, oh, girl, go on. You got to take care of your business." I said, and then in the same breath, she's saying, but stay right here.
Right. Me.
Stay right here with me. Don't leave me here. And so I said, I'm staying right here. Okay, and now I'm going, I'm staying right here.
Right. I love it.
So she would want me to move forward and carry her legacy on. But she also want me to be sad, downtrodden, depressed, and laying out, holding on to the casket.
Holding on, right?
Holding on to the casket.
I'm glad you didn't.
I thought about it, and I said it. I don't know who was standing next to me, but I said, it feels like this should be a moment where I reenact. Did you see the movie?
I know what you're going to say. Yes. I can't think of the name of it, but I know exactly the scene you're talking about.
Movie.
What's the name of it?
Imitation of Life.
Imitation of Life. There you go.
Imitation of Life. And she had just did all of the things that you should not do to your mother. And when her mother was gone, it was too late.
It's too late.
She ran and pushed through the pallbearers to get to her mother's cabin.
I remember.
Yeah.
My mother passed in 2010. Mrs. Brenda Scott Gordon. In 2010. I did not reach that pinnacle of 53 years with her. She passed very quickly, and my sister and my brother and I do something every year to make sure that her memory is celebrated. And I'm very appreciative of people that knew her and can connect with us continuously. I'm sure Mrs. Garrett's friends have cousins, relatives reach out to you often.
Yes.
And they want you to remember their memories. And so I take all of that and try to process that, because they are also in a place of grief and loss.
Right.
My sister, I'm so proud of her. This year, she did produce a journal for women that have lost their mothers. And she's been thinking about it and working on it for about 10 years now. And this is the first year she's able to actually put it out to the community. Because we need to write, we need to think, we need to process. And that's one way of healing. And the mother-daughter relationship is so unique. You know, you have a daughter, I also have a daughter, and I have a niece that I find to be amazing. But those relationships are unique and individual relationships that we really have to take some time and cultivate, but also be reflective when we think about our parents, our mothers, in our lives and the things they did for us and how they fed us, nourished us. So we could be at this moment, at this place, at this time.
Did you find moments like this? After my mother passed, I realized that I was in a master class of her will to do better for others.
Yeah.
Which made it natural. It was innate within me.
Right.
And I didn't recognize that until after she passed. And then as a mother of a daughter, it allowed me to look at what I do with Harper and how I have afforded her certain areas of my life that no one else would be able to witness.
No.
And I see it showing up in her. And so because of my mother passing, I now look at how my daughter is witnessing things in a different way.
Yes.
Just a lot more intentional in how I am allowing myself to navigate in and out of her life. Do you have that same experience?
Absolutely. And that word intentional comes up again. You know, I want to make sure my daughter is in college now. She's doing an amazing job. And I think she's always going to have that motivation in her because my mother was such a believer in education. And I hear my daughter talking about community service projects she's doing. She's not here in Miami with me anymore. She's away at college, but she's still allowing herself to become part of the community that she's in. And I know that's influenced from my mother. My mother was the same way. Whatever community you go to, integrate yourself into that community. See what the need is. And if you can meet that need, that is a healing process in itself, you know. And we want to make sure that we continue to heal all of the wounds we have. Everybody has things in them that are broken, things that, you know, that need to be modified, cultivated. Growth has to take place. So we have to continuously give ourselves that space, but also teach our children, our daughters, that it's okay to have those moments, but this is how you move forward with intention.
How are you doing, Belinda?
I am moving in the direction that I feel like is best for me. So I feel like I'm in a good space right now. I'm in a good place. I'm very aware of the work that I do in the community. I'm being very selective with who I align myself with because I want to make sure that I'm not working against myself. I want things to be congruent. And I want to be able to go into spaces and smile and be authentic in that. I don't want to be in spaces where I feel like I'm not my true self. So I've removed some things off my plate, which is okay to do. Sisters and brothers, you can look at your plate, see that it's full, and take some things off of that plate. Delegate that to someone else, or you may never return to that at all. And this year I've been able to do some things. I wrote a chapter in a book. I've always wanted to write a little bit, and someone gave me the opportunity to write one chapter, and I love that. I've had multiple opportunities to write articles with the culture that allows me to integrate mental health into daily lives of people that read that information, give us feedback, also realizing that this is something that they've never been able to experience. You know, a trendy magazine is also talking about mental health. Business owners talking about mental health because they were able to read our article produced by the culture, but written by me about mental health in our community. So for me, this is exciting. This is a very exciting time. And I want to make sure that we continue to provide the service for the culture.
Well, I am happy that you did not remove your show from your plate, understanding that you are full. And we have mental wellness for the culture returning. Before we stop today, I would like to find out what are some of the topics that you plan on discussing and diving into this season.
That's a good question. And I'm so excited. I think this is season 5, right?
It is.
Oh, I'm excited about it. One of the topics I'm so excited about, and we haven't spoken about this, but we haven't spoken about this on mental wellness for the culture, but behind the scenes, we've talked about introducing an amazing therapist that deals with sex to our community. Sex is part of every person's life on one level or another. And she is going to come and just talk to us about the work that she does and how we can have access to her. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about burnout and burnout prevention. We're going to talk about what we're doing in the community to stay active, as far as, I don't know if everyone has heard this term, but trap Pilates.
Oh, yes.
And trap yoga. Have you experienced any of these?
Yes, both with Dr. Gabby and Councilwoman Linda Julian with the great city of Miami Gardens.
I am so excited to talk about this work that they are doing to make sure our community is relatable, it's healing, it's activation. And so I'm excited to talk to Dr. Gabby and her counterparts about trap yoga and trap Pilates. Who else do we have? Oh, this is exciting too for me. I am a founder of the mental health program at the Seed School of Miami. That program has been in existence since 2014. It is a public boarding school, and they do have a mental health counselor there on site. The young people there are from an underserved community, but they have the opportunity to live there, prepare for college, and have support through their college, the 4 years of college. And the mental health counselor is going to come on and just talk about how she integrates mental health, mental wellness into their daily lives. So I'm super excited about this season. It's so many great things that are going on in our community. We cannot allow negative things to overtake the great things that are going on. And I appreciate the culture for always making sure the greatness is highlighted.
Absolutely. We have no choice but to.
Yes.
And we thank you. We thank you for all that you do for our community coming onto the show. We can't wait to see season 5, but to my culture family, we had to bring her on and just get all of the details of what's going on and a little mental health. We had to get that in today. So thank you for coming on the show, Belinda. We greatly appreciate you and look forward to season 5.
Thank you so much. Take care, Jessica.
All right. And we'll see you all next week for another edition of The Culture.
The Culture is produced and owned by Hip Rockstar Media and is distributed by the Culture Media Group. It cannot be reproduced